Because sometimes fuck it
Just fits.
just fits.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Let's get
We are back.
Come on out.
Cheers. It has been a while.
I was like, I don't know how long.
F you 2020. It is 2021. Guys, we are back. How? It feels good, actually.
It does. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time coming. We have made it through. We have had our co-host, amazing special co-hosts, being able to do our lives from city to city, and just now it just feels good to be back here in the Drew Vision Studios.
In the new and improved and improving Drew Vision Studio.
The new Alante.
Oh my god.
His
I feel
studio
like-
is actually open for shoots. We have Valentine's Day coming up. Yeah,
No, we don't have a discount code.
No, we do not. Yeah, discount code F Podcast, and the discount is
Discount
the full
code.
price.
Pay in full.
Right. But Valentine's Day coming up.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all like to have pictures that y'all have and never print out and put up, but you pay for them. So hit them up because
it's very cute in here, you guys.
it is very cute in here, and it is definitely legit. And it's cold outside, so we need to bring it inside now. But yeah, how you been? It has been so much that has happened.
Wait, when was the last time we recorded an episode? 1927, Sicily.
I think it was 19.
No, it probably was like, it was a Halloween?
When I came back, did we not? Was it August?
No, we did like a Halloween one too.
I think it was, yeah, so it was when I came back and when I was here. So it was for September. I went back to Dallas September 24th.
Right before your birthday.
Yeah.
We did an episode right before your birthday.
Okay, so that was the last time, so it was September.
Damn. September, October, November, December, January. It's almost been 6 months.
It has almost been 6 months. And really this started in June because I really left in June the first time.
That's true. Oh my God.
So just to catch up with our listeners, I actually was in Dallas helping my mom recover from her back surgery. And she's doing good, having a really good recovery. But, as major as that surgery is, it definitely takes some healing.
We need help.
And we need some help. So then we were, in a good time. It was in a good time because we were able to take a break and, look at everything that was happening. And then I came back in July, and then left again in September and came back in December. Mm-hmm. Y'all, if life for me ain't been no Crystal Style was a person, you're looking at that motherfucker. Like, Ebony.
2020 was 2020.
2020 has 2020'd everybody. I don't think it's anybody that can say that 2020 did not 2020 them.
I think, in retrospect, I did have a pretty positive year as far as some clarity and some things like that.
Yeah.
But, it was a lot of deaths. It was a lot of... clearly the Miss Rona ran through the streets rampant.
Still running.
Matter of fact,
she's still running. With
now
bundles.
she got new
now,
Nikes. Cause
she got bundles. Nikes.
Because she put it on Afterpay.
Yeah, she done put it on there, baby. And everybody is subscribing to Miss Corona. So she got new bundles.
So, yeah, it was a lot that went on last year. I actually started this year off supporting a friend who's doing a challenge that I'm not doing the full challenge because it's too hard. But the non-drinking part, because I feel like last year it was so much going on with us being in the house, or just hearing so much death, or people being sick, and you just not knowing, like,
like, can't go nowhere.
Don't fuck around and be dead, nigga. Like,
right.
come on. Or we couldn't go nowhere, or just like the extra layer of stress that life had given us. I was drinking like
every day
fish. Like, granted, I wasn't. There would be some days I didn't need to drink. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I was like going hard, and I was gaining weight, which everybody did. But it's just like, God, dog, Ed, like, chill. So I'm actually not drinking for 75 days to be like, okay, buddy, you don't need alcohol to actually function, and let's like raise our kids sober for like 2 days.
Well, I am also not drinking for a completely different reason, and we'll get into that.
God, y'all.
I'm like, I think I told you I'm like on my, I only got 4 lives left. I done lost 6 at this point. So I hope this one can last, at least a good 20 years. This one life, because I got only 4 left.
Oh.
So
you about 50,
this
60.
one, so this one I'm gonna coast through this. This
on cruise control to 60.
Yeah. So my mom, and I'm sure she's watching. My mom had major back surgery again, and I was in Dallas helping her. Y'all, mothers out there, I understand. I don't understand still, but I kind of understand what you all go through when you have newborns.
It's definitely probably not the exact, but for a man, close equivalent when you have to take care of your mother. Because in return, like, mothers, that's the closest person kind of to you, honestly, relationship-wise. Right. So if you have to take care of your mother have to take care of you. That is probably the most you will understand that other person.
So it's not that it was, and just to, clarify too, it wasn't that it was hard. Mm-hmm. It was that she was unable to do things like a newborn. Mm-hmm. They can't pretty much move on their own. They need you to assist. So this particular surgery was super major. Like, I'm talking about super major. Cutting the front, cutting the back. Like, we definitely, politicians out there, this is why we need to vote. We need to have people in office that can come up with things like this, because you need more than 10 weeks out from work.
If you just opened my whole body.
You just opened me up and removed my organs.
Don't get me started, because we only get 12.
Yes.
We create humans.
Exactly. You created a life.
Y'all think y'all finna get 10 for your backs?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are, you ridiculous Americans?
Y'all say pro-life. You want no abortions. Want us to have the kids. Want to have the kids, but
give us 62 seconds to get our coochies back.
Get back to work.
To regular capacity. Woo, I'm moving to Norway.
But for those first 2 weeks, because of this one and removing organs, you have to use a restroom. And she asked to drink plenty of water to go along with the medicine, so you have to go to the restroom. And so it was the sleep. This is the only part that I really can just understand.
Like a newborn.
Is when you guys are unable to sleep because the newborn is going to cry whenever.
The work isn't hard. It's just continuous.
It's just continuous.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. It's just so it becomes hard because I just would sleep for 2 hours, and then you gotta pop up, and then you have to go back to sleep, and it takes you out, and you have to pop up. You have to go back, pop up.
You never get in a full state of rest.
So then you just get so delirious, and then you just like, I can see why mothers drown their babies.
Yeah.
And that's like something not hilarious, but it really put it in perspective. Like, of course, you can say you can never understand what somebody going through until you're going through it. And I correlated that because, not that I was going to drown my mother, but because I could see, or how mothers could leave their kid in the car and go to work and think they dropped them off somewhere. Or left them outside and went in the house and thought they brought them in. It was like, finally, the baby's quiet for a little bit, Or, I could see how somebody could fall asleep and roll over and the baby's right there and they fall asleep and...
I mean, God willing, I didn't come out bed. I've dropped my babies a couple of times, halfway sleep breastfeeding, and like wake up when the baby's like, I'm like, oh my God.
But I can see it because you're so sleep deprived.
Yeah.
That
you can't even hold yourself accountable to be awake and alert.
And we just need more support for things like that, because it's like, dang gone well, ain't nobody gonna heal in 10 weeks. Who's healing like that in 10 weeks?
Nobody.
And then she's a teacher for 4th graders. So,
right.
It's a lot. And so I'm so glad that I was able to be there to help with that and to move around, help her move around and do things and, wash dishes and clean up, just those types of things to be around, because I could not imagine that struggle of not having someone to support when you have something that major.
Yeah. And
even in those people who don't have things like that, we should have provisions in our Medicaid and Medicare and healthcare that sends, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, all the taxes we pay, they'll let you suffer.
I think this past year really brought out what's the word? It really showed how ridiculous we are.
Ridiculous we are.
You know what it did?
Ooh, it showed how ridiculous we are.
You know what it did? It really highlighted that we got our Gucci belt from the swap meet. And that's what it did.
Yes.
That your Birkin is fake. Like, America's Birkin is fake.
Not somebody said the baby stuck between the wall and the bed.
and that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. But like, it really showcased that our designer bag is not only fake, but poor quality.
Poor quality.
For the F in Fendi was an E.
This is Poshmark.
The 2 C's was 2 G's.
Like, literally, or 2 different Ariel Black C.
Listen, we got our purse from Wish. And now we can't fake it anymore. Like, 2020 really brought out it didn't even bring out the worst in America, because America's been the worst. It really showcased and pulled back our curtain. It snatched our wig.
It did, because everybody was at home too.
Everybody was at home. So, like, when we were talking about earlier last year, like, police brutality and all that stuff, when we were, like, we stopped doing the podcast consistently. Like, you start taking care of your mother kind of like mid in the summer.
Yeah.
So, like, it was getting progressively
right. It just started doing this.
Like, it never got to the point where we finally went to the real Louis Vuitton store. Like,
right.
We
never
kept ordering bags off Wish.
Yes.
So it was just like over and over and over again, it got progressively worse and more ridiculous. So I will say I don't want to say I'm glad that it's over. I mean, I made it out alive, thank God.
Thank God.
Nobody in my family was majorly overly sick. I mean, Tony on the side, but it's fine. He's not that. But no one, like, everybody made it out alive. So I think optimistically, I think a lot of people put a lot of eggs in the 2021 basket. But for me specifically, I think I came up with a mantra just to let it go and let it flow.
This baby came out of 2020, our podcast. So
things were
we got some great things, and I had an amazing time actually in Dallas.
I know exactly what to do this
right. I had an amazing time actually in Dallas. It was so good to see my friends and my family, and just being able to just even be around my mom and my sisters and my dad, and just to because I do live so far away.
Right.
And so I really had a good time and gained a lot of weight. But when I tell you, the 2020 was whipping my back the whole time. It's like you just want to get God on the line and be like, now look, Jesus. God, now you said in your word, Father, that you would not put more on me than I can bear.
I think what really what took me down globally, like a lot of stuff didn't happen so much personally until later in the year, I think. But I think starting off globally, we just got a lot of people who died like really fast and really quick.
Like just saying bloop.
Like Nipsey, and then like
And then
Nipsey,
just said,
I was
blah.
still like, all right now. And then Kobe Bryant it wasn't okay. And it's been a year now.
Right.
And I was just thinking like, wow. It's so funny. I looked on my Snapchat and last year my face was so puffy and I was drunk because I had cried that whole day. And I had drank that whole day and cried and drank and cried and slept. And you know what I mean?
That was
and
so tragic.
My Snapchat was like, and then I watched the Grammys and then they did a tribute to Kobe and Prince and all these people.
Right.
I was just like, oh no. So it's just so funny how we started our year off in like
Right. My aunt kicked it off.
Right. His Aunt Connie died. Like, we started off a year with like tragedy.
Right.
I felt like
and then the coronavirus was like, hey.
So I feel like we was like.
Then our doors were like closed. And then the cities were like closed. And the businesses were like closed.
God.
Then the surgery got pushed back. And then the kids were home. Everything's virtual. Now we have to wear masks.
And then the virus that was supposed to last a couple months.
Until April, we have it under control. This will disappear by the election. Like, and what are you getting?
It's been a year since we found out. Even longer since we probably had it, but a year since we found out.
A year. Then
still wearing masks.
Then scrolling through that, then one of my very, very, very close friends for like 20 years, 23 years passed away from cancer, and that actually, I'm glad that I was in Dallas when that happened, so that I could help
back as well.
Put it together. Of course, Bo was here. To help put it together. So that was also something. It was like, oh, okay. Then this was in the midst of...
Because then you would have had to try to get back home.
Yes, get back home. So that happened. Then I don't have a car. I'm in Atlanta and my vehicle is still in Dallas. And I have a Daewoo sitting out.
It is not a Daewoo.
And I am in a rental car because I should call out their names who party we went to and made us get into this.
No, because ain't nobody told y'all to get drunk.
So we go to a party, and then we're on our way home, and a tire just pops.
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So I call roadside assistance, and they come, and the guy tows my vehicle. He latches the chain on one of my tire rods, or clearly he latched it wrong, and he pulled my car up. So we got the tire, and then I was supposed to come home. So mind you, I was supposed to come home. We was headed home the next day. So mind you, we got the tire fixed. Drew had flew to Dallas so that he could ride back to Atlanta with me.
Right.
We got the tire, had to go to Firestone. They changed it. They didn't change it. We got the tire, we put it on. All of my wheels are straight except the one in the front. It looked like it was turned. It looked like my wheels turned when all the rest of my wheels were straight. And I was like, oh my God. So you couldn't even, you couldn't even turn.
Right.
So I was like, are you kidding me?
I finally get to go home.
I had to fly Drew back home because he has to shoot. He got to go back to work. Like, we planned this so that you could have those days. So then, I want to say that he was like shooting somebody like Lori Harvey or somebody. So he like really had to like leave. And so then my car, they come and they see it. I look under there. My tire rod is bent. It looks like this. It's supposed to be like this. It's just bent in like a triangle V. Geico comes, send somebody to come pick it up.
Baby, if you don't want to be a tow truck driver, just say
Just say that. Why would you do that? So then, here we go. Tire like this. So they come pick my car up. This is December the 6th. This is December 6th.
He still doesn't have his car.
I still do not have my car. The steering rack, whatever the fuck they're looking for, clearly it's coming from Yemen. And it's on back order.
From
it gotta be. Like, it gotta be coming through. They going through Fallujah. They going through all of Palestine. They going through every war zone. Because this part, like, is still not here. So then they talking about, oh, well, your car will be ready December 13th. I was like, okay. So y'all wanted me, I was like, okay, ancestors, okay, universe, y'all wanted me to stay for my mama's birthday. Okay, I'm here for my mom's birthday. My car, then it was like, oh, the part's on back order. It'll be ready January 15th. Geico, give me a car. I gotta go home. I have a meeting at work that I have to go to. So I drive this. They had gave me the smallest fucking car that they could have possibly given me. Y'all, I opened this car. It looked like whoever previously had it before me had 4 kids, and they gave their kids chocolate, soda, loaded tacos, and they ate everything in the car. And I told him, I was like, and I was taking a picture of the upholstery. I hope y'all see that this is here. And they sent me to the smallest fucking enterprise that they could have went to. So they really didn't have other cars. I was like, well, I have no choice. I have to literally drive today to be in the office tomorrow. So I have to go. And oh my God, I was like, it just was like, chut, chut, chut. And then you look in the back and it just gets worse. I was like, I didn't even click. I was like, mind you, my seats are leather heated.
Right.
You know, come on. Y'all know. So I drive home. What I will say about the 2020 Hyundai Elantra, cut us a check. They have this steering drive assistance thing that over 40 miles an hour, it's like the computer of the car auto drives almost. It keeps you in your lane. And so you can text and drive so easier. Oprah. So, but like literally, I ain't saying it's a Tesla, but for real, if you did take your hands off of the wheel, it would steer you. And it even I'm talking about keep you going around a curve.
Oh, wow.
So when on the long distance drive, I will say that was like butter in my food.
Right.
It made it better. But it makes everything better. So I could barely touching the wheel.
You were able to relax a little
and it was just doing that. So I will say thank you, and I appreciated the little Bluetooth that had the little map. That was cool.
Right. After you got sat on your ice cream.
Exactly. But I felt every bump in the road.
Because you
for them little ass tires. Yeah. And I was like, okay. So I get home. Boom, boom, boom. Chum, chum, chum. Cool. Oh, but we did go to Vegas in between. We completely forgot about Vegas. We were so fucked up.
We did go to Vegas. I think we did a podcast. We talked about Vegas.
Yeah, we did actually. So no, we did. We did talk about Vegas.
I think,
but what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So y'all, I get back and we here for 2 weeks.
Bo's back, guys.
We're here for just 2 weeks. And here we go. I come in. Go to the meeting. I'm going on vacation the next week.
Right.
We had a long week. Long year. I just wanted to go somewhere for Christmas and relax.
Decompress.
I didn't have to be around anybody. Didn't have to be nothing special. We have to do nothing touristy. I wanted to be on a beach.
Mm-hmm.
and I booked a trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Ooh, y'all been wearing Mexico and Puerto Rico.
And now they're dying in Mexico. If y'all do not stay out of Mexico, y'all leave Mexico alone.
Cause y'all
done brought them folks the corona, and now they the third largest country in the world with the death toll since December. Mm-hmm. Y'all stay home. Y'all, but at the same time, they can't afford us to stay home. Mm-hmm. Their economy depends on it. So I stayed in this grand hotel, the Miramar.
It was very
nice. Oh, it was so beautiful. All the view was beautiful. Oh my God. We arrived in a Mercedes Sprinter. Ooh. It was like, oh, it was a dream. It was all a dream.
I wasn't there.
It was okay. So oh my God, the view was just spectacular. It was just breathtaking. It was everything that I could have wished for.
Right.
We took shots to welcome us to Mexico, and we're going to go have fun. 2 hours in. 2 hours later. Ebony, I threw up from 2 hours from when we landed.
It's funny now. We can laugh at it now, but it was scary.
Y'all, if y'all saw me post about Mexico, y'all know, if y'all was wondering why I didn't post that much in Mexico, here's the reason. We saved this story just for this. I threw up the entire trip. The entire trip I threw up in every moment, in every day. Except one day where the skies opened and God blessed me.
He was like, okay.
And said, you can have one day. One day. Not the full day. Literally one day.
Pick your activities well.
Because when the sun goes down, you're back. Y'all, we had an amazing one day on that beach. And we had an amazing day on that beach. But when the sun went down, it was all back over.
Maybe Ariel lost her voice.
When I tell you, Drew was like, we going to the emergency room. And I was like, we are not going to a Mexican emergency room. I was in the shower. The hotel was beautiful. My hotel room was beautiful. It had marble floor. It was beautiful. I spent most of my time inside the shower because it would make me feel better and make me not nauseous. I was in the shower most of the fucking trip. Wow. If I could tell you what Puerto Vallarta looked like, it would be in the shape of a tiled fucking shower. When I tell you, he was still trying to go have fun. I was able to get into the pool one day. That was okay. It was just that one day. But the whole time, I was like, we cannot do it. I don't know what the hospitals are set up. I don't know what the bills is like. They ain't gonna let us leave. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. Tyler Perry is maybe not gonna even see my tweet to say I'm trapped like them other couple. Please pay my bills so I can come home. I said, we cannot go to a Mexican emergency room during coronavirus.
That's scary.
So we get home. We make it. We had to get some over-the-counter Xanax. They sell over-the-counter Xanax in Mexico. That calmed me down enough to get through customs and on the airplane. When I was on the airplane, I had to go back. Thank God we were in the back, and it really wasn't the way that Delta has it set up. It's not a lot of
be crowded.
It's not. It's thank you Delta for your social
Love
distancing.
That.
So I was in the back. Nobody was back there. I was running back and forth to the bathroom the whole time.
Oh my
and
God.
I was just like, the back, like even the stewardess. What do they call it now? Flight attendants. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was watching like the documentaries. Y'all, I was throwing up the whole time. I was throwing up during landing. She saw me. She was like, "Sir, you can't." She's gone. She was just like gone. She was like, I hope you feel better. Because I was like, I looked at her with the eyes of a pleading puppy. Like, ma'am, please don't make me sit back down. I have to go into the bathroom. I will hold on to both of the walls while we land. But I am going to be throwing up in your toilet.
Or I'm going to throw up on these seats.
Or everywhere. I want to throw up all over these walls, right? Y'all, When we landed, I had to go to the hospital. I had to go to the emergency room at DeKalb Medical. I really did not want to go to DeKalb Medical, but we couldn't make it the 4 miles up to Emory, even though DeKalb Medical is like in Emory. It's like what you said, like that Gucci belt.
It's just smaller.
It's trash. So,
thank you for...
No. Child, no. So, DeKalb Medical. So, we go to the ER. I get in the back. I'm like throwing them in their bathroom, clearly getting coronavirus. Because the bathroom was like, and then I'm looking like, this is a hospital. Isn't everything supposed to be like spotless? I would think that it would be spotless. I thought so. So I was in there. They admitted me. I have never been admitted to the hospital for not one reason in the world. For nothing. Y'all, I was in the hospital for 6 motherfucking days. If y'all thought I was taking a social media break, it was not. I was dying. Y'all, they said that I was so dehydrated from throwing up all them motherfucking days in Mexico that my kidneys were about to fail. I was like, what? They had fluids and IVs in me. Like, T had to tell people, like, had to...
It was very scary.
Actually, I don't even know if you guys knew for the first 2 days. Or maybe it wasn't the...
I think I knew probably quicker than
most. Yeah.
I think I was probably one of the first people T called. But I think it was after a day or two, and T was like, yeah,
because this is serious.
I gotta tell somebody.
Because when they said that, I was like, oh my God, they had to give me like potassium, like my potassium.
And it was scary. And you know what's funny is, I think I either put in the group chat or something, I was like, did y'all get back yet or something?
Yeah.
Because something, you know, my spidey sense, I was like, something ain't right. I was like, I ain't heard from them. They ain't dropped no pics. Because every time we have a group chat, we've had this group chat almost at this point
3, 4
through
years?
2 babies. 3 babies.
Yeah.
And Phoenix is...
It's 7?
No.
6?
Phoenix is 5. Almost 6.
6
She'll be
this
6
year.
this year.
Yeah.
So we've had this group chat for about 6,
She's
7
really
years.
30.
Right. And we've always, like, when we're out of town, we always drop little pictures and whatever, just to share our lives with each other. Like, we've done this for years. And when Tony them only dropped, like, 1, 2 pictures, we was like...
Something.
I said, something ain't right. I was like, well, at first I was like, well, maybe they're just enjoying it because Tony has had a long year and, you know, you just be want to unwind. And sometimes you be so in the moment that you don't take a lot of pictures. I've been up there in Vegas.
Yes.
We took...
3.
I think we took maybe 2 to 3 pictures.
3 pictures? Right.
And one of them, our drawers is in the back. Like,
right. Just everywhere.
We took maybe 1 or 2 pictures. So, like, but we were in the moment. I mean, that was fun.
Oh, we had so much fun.
So much fun. So, when you're in the moment, so I was like, well, maybe they're just in the moment. They're doing things. Like, maybe they don't have signal. Baby, when Drew Visions called me, when I was in the Fab 21 having my mom day, talking about, I said... First of all, what scared me, and I hope you don't get mad, but what scared me is like he was scared.
Yeah.
He was crying, and I was like,
well, I know you fucking lying.
Bitch, if you tell me we just filming it dead. I said, now, you know, I'm still grieving over Nippy.
Right. Don't you play with me.
I said, bitch, just tell me if the nigga's alive.
Right.
Let's start there.
Like, what's going on?
What the fuck is going on? Because, bitch, you don't even cry with your meat now.
Right. At all.
So, it was just scary. So, and then, like, to have to be in the hospital.
And to be the one. Because I'm not, like, nobody who gets broken down like that. Like, I ain't saying I ain't have my bouts after. Clearly, I can never in life drink tequila. I will never drink.
I'll be the only one.
I'm just saying, if I do, it would be 1 shot of 18. It can't be nothing
off brand.
Nothing off brand. What's the Conejo? Not Conejo. The one in that Cosme.
Casamigos?
Yes.
But that's a better level of tequila.
That's what I'm saying. I can do that.
Oh,
but
like,
it probably would be one for, but I will never.
It's just scary.
That was scary.
Anytime somebody has to go to the hospital now.
6 days, y'all. I brought New Year's in. I went in the hospital on the 28th. Y'all didn't. I was in there until like January 5th. Yep. I brought in the New Year in the hospital.
In the freaking hospital.
I was like, are you kidding me? So then I'm in there for like a day and a half. And then they come in and then they tell a bitch, you got coronavirus.
They said, sir, Miss Rona's on the line. Hello?
Y'all, I had went the entire motherfucking year.
I'm pretty sure you got it at the hospital.
I got it at the hospital. I feel like I got it at the hospital. Because where else? I got it at the hospital. So then I was on this amazing floor with these amazing nurses on the first day. What was her name? I want to say it was Rashida, but it was something like that. But she was so great. I was like, I think in the middle of throwing up, and I just looked up at my nurse, and then I was like, I like your eyelashes. They were so nice. She had on, she said, thank you. Like, what? Like, you're like dying here?
Refill your fluids.
I'm trying to just put it, but it was, because, you know, you got on masks, so the only thing that I really can see are your eyes. 3rd floor, DeKalb Medical, kudos.
Was that the corona floor?
No, it was not. Oh. It was the one that I was on before they found out that I had the virus.
Oh, then they shipped you
off. And then they shipped me off. Then they shipped me off to the ward.
Oh, my God.
Baby, they wheeled my motherfucking ass out of floor 3 so fast. When they went, hold on. Then the funny thing is the nurse that came in and tell me that I had the Rona, she yelled that shit from the door. She was like, did you know you had coronavirus? No, bitch, why would I know that? She yelled that from the door. I never saw her again. Babe, when I
left a note in the hallway.
By the time you get it, I'll be far away. Baby, she yelled that shit from the door.
She said, baby, you're not gonna get me.
No. And then my nurse came back in with full gear on. It was like stuff, and they had to take it off. Baby, the transporter lady came in.
Oh, my God.
Baby, they whipped my ass up out of that ward. And they shoved
oh, my God.
They shoved me into the coronavirus floor where no one came in. I'm pacing the fucking floor, rolling the IV around. Oh, Lord. When I was gonna get out, I was gonna see
this. This is why, because they just let the corona people just like, baby, we give y'all 3 hots to the
cop. But
cop.
they're not allowed to be in there for too long. They actually get in trouble, allegedly.
They say what?
Allegedly get in trouble for being in there, being exposed.
I mean, that makes
which I
sense.
Understand. So
because
I definitely
if they get exposed, they can't work, and now we're short staffed.
But baby, that is very mentally draining.
It's like being in solitude.
That was like, I'm okay.
Oh, God,
I had my phone, but the thing is, I was so fucking sick,
right?
That I didn't even touch my phone for the first, I think, at least 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then I think, like on day 4, I dropped in a group chat. So
I'm alive, but
I have the Rona. And they were like, oh my God, where have you been, first of all? And then this is what you dropped.
Right.
So, y'all, when I tell you they came in only to draw blood and to just check on my fluid anytime other than that, it was...
Did you have any the symptoms that they say?
I didn't have anything.
I mean, I don't know if you would even recognize if you could smell or taste that you were throwing up. But
I could smell. I could definitely taste.
Right.
But I didn't have I didn't have no cough. I didn't have a fever. I didn't have anything like that. I mean, I was throwing up. So I don't know if that could have re-triggered it. But I don't think. Yeah. But they were like my lungs, my breathing, my oxygen, everything was fine. Like I was like I'm fine. Like I'm healthy as a racehorse. Mm-hmm. So like my blood pressure is always the blood pressure supposed to be. My temperature is always the temperature.
So technically you were asymptomatic. You just
I was, or they test was lying. And I might have got a false positive because literally I think I got out of there probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think I waited 7 days to go take a test, and I was negative by then. So I was like, did I get a false positive? But who knows? So maybe
bitch, they wasn't gonna stick around to see.
They weren't gonna stay, baby. They used to come in with all of that stuff on. It was one lady, I think I left flowers for them because it was the one lady, actually it's not my flower, but it was one lady that really did, and she was like, I'm not supposed to be in here too much, but I'll come back and check on you. And she would bring me ice that I couldn't eat, and then they made me eat their damn food. And I was almost out of there. I thought I was almost out of there on day 4, and they told me to eat their solid food. Baby, they sent me back over the edge, for 2 more days.
Wow.
And then they told me I had the virus. Then I had to come home and quarantine in my room for 14 days and walk around my house with a mask. And I was like, 20. If you do not stop playing with me, what more do you want from me?
It was a lie.
Then after that, they tell me my motherfucking car gets pushed back to February 15th. I still don't got my damn car.
So I think a lot of people, I'm not going to say us, but a lot of people were very optimistic. I don't know why we magically thought at 12:01 on 2021, like everything, like it was like the end of the Wiz and shit. Can you feel it?
Right.
Like, no.
Baby. Like, this is just one of many Tommy's mug shots, baby.
No, like the Great Depression wasn't a year.
It wasn't.
We're in a depression.
We are. And
it's going to take us a while.
This is the anniversary now of Kobe and Gigi.
Yeah.
And clearly it wouldn't be off brand and it wouldn't be on brand if in the same month, almost around the same time, we lose another legend.
It's a lot. January
took Cicely Tyson out.
It did. But, Cicely, Kobe hit hard because Kobe still was living life, and Gigi clearly was still wasn't even beginning her life.
Right.
But Cicely was 96.
Cicely was 96.
And one thing I will give us as the culture and the community that she enriched the most, black people, we did give Cicely her flowers.
Yeah, we gave her her flowers.
Now, sometimes when people die, we be like, dang, like, we didn't even recognize their greatness until
like, what? They did that?
Yeah, but like, we gave Cicely the things.
Yeah.
And I think
Cicely gave us the things.
And you know what? I'll go on a limb and say partly the reason, especially later in her career, that she got the things. Tyler Perry had a lot to do with making sure that she never faded out. Like we was like, baby, let me put her in the one scene where she in the promised land. Cause
wake up. The time is now.
But Tyler,
how did we have Black History this year without Cicely Tyson?
Baby, wake up, Cissy.
And Hank Aaron?
I don't know.
Who is for Black History? Who is for Black History?
Yeah. But we did definitely give Cicely her things, and I'm so glad that she wrote a memoir in her words before she died, which was it was immaculate timing, unfortunately.
Baby, Cicely said, I know how to give y'all a marketing strategy.
She said, I'll be right back.
And I'm gone.
But no, I'm actually going to definitely get the book, and I'm excited to read about such a full life of legacy. Mm-hmm. That's very rare that you can say that somebody almost from the start to the end of their career.
Right. Was she born in the 30s then?
She was 96. My grandma was 93 and was born in 1928.
Okay.
So she was born in 1920, 23. So, baby,
wow,
she has seen
so
many different levels of our ups, our downs, our ins, our outs. I mean, I see why people when she died and people were telling the stories, like I see why people were like, just to be in your presence felt rich.
Yeah.
So
and she was able to see the first black woman vice president of the United States.
The first black president.
Yes, the first black president.
A man to own a Confederate land, a building on Confederate land that he's turned into something for good. A black man to own like that is, and she be dedicated in that way. Cicely lived a life.
Yeah, she definitely
so
did.
I it's sad that somebody like that dies, but I think I was more at peace with her because I think we definitely made sure we honored her while she was living, and not so much like, well, let's look up what she did now. Like, we definitely honored her.
Eric Jerome Dickey passed away.
I feel like the kids don't know who that is. I feel like the
You think so?
The kids, not us.
Okay.
I think if you are 35 and up, I feel like Eric Jerome Dickey.
I feel like some people younger than 35 would know, because he was still writing books.
He was, but I'm talking about the time in our lives.
We had to get him.
Eric Jerome Dickey, Zane. That's what I was thinking about earlier.
The Zane Chronicles.
Zane helped me discover what I like sexually. Like, Zane was like, I was like, women do this? But like Zane, Omar Tyree, Sister Soldier, like, it was a time period that black writers were writing. Whether it was
Elin Harris.
It was it non-fictional when it's real fake? It's fictional.
Yeah, it's fictional.
It was a time where fictional black writing was a thing. Now, granted, I was in high school and probably a little too young to read. Terry McMillan, Toni Morrison. Like, it was a time. Terry McMillan, woo.
Yes.
It was a time that those books that they were writing were like our way to discover what adulthood would be like, possibly.
Reading those books.
I thought I
13 and 14.
Baby, I thought I knew everything I needed to know because I had read The Coldest Winter Ever. when I tell you, when that book came out, everybody I knew, I still remember how the cover looked. It was yellow with a girl with the... I still remember. And I remember when that book came out, every girl in high school had it. Or we shared it. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people just, you walk through the hall and we would have it.
You had to read it. It was a prerequisite.
We'd be like, you remember when Midnight? And I mean, it was a book, and I'm so mad that it still hasn't become a movie.
Right. That is crazy.
I know they talked about it, but...
And you had to have read Friends and Lovers and Milk in My Coffee by Eric Jerome Dickey. You had to
it just really gave us a guideline to what we really felt that black adults were doing, because they never really talked about us in the light of where they weren't successful people in these books or something like that.
But and I appreciate it. So Elin Harris wrote Invisible Me.
Yes. Oh God, do y'all remember Invisible Me?
Oh my God, that was such a that book was so controversial in our high school because it was the first book that actually explored a black gay man and the down low phenomenon and the queen, the drag queen. It touched on LGBT. Like, we didn't have a book like that.
Wow.
I had to actually, I remember when I was reading this book, I had to, in those days I was hiding, and I tore the spine off so that
you can't tell what
what you were reading. Tore the spine off, and I stole it from the library. And
maybe that was
yes, I wouldn't go through the thing. But I read the book, and I remember I would wait until everyone sleep and I would read this book. I'd be staying up late at night to read it because that was my only representation of what
you were feeling,
of what this was. And I was like, also, I don't have to be like this. I don't have to act like this. I can be successful. I can be a lawyer. I can be a doctor. I can be a...
That's crazy. And I used to read those kind of books and like, I actually get disappointed in myself.
And we don't sit there and read.
17-year-old in me, actually 13 through 17-year-old in me would be so pissed that I stopped journaling and I stopped reading, because I used to journal like a fool too. But those books, we used to read them in like maybe a week if it was a little thicker, but I would go through those books and I would just feel so empowered to hear and see women and men living their lives in a way that our parents didn't tell us we could live our lives.
and it didn't necessarily mirror our lives.
Right. So it was like a fantasy.
It was. And then it was like, wow, these people are taking trips to Jamaica.
Right.
And
like waiting to exhale.
As friends, they are doing all of
right.
these things and just saying, oh, well, we going to Jamaica next week. Like
right.
you're the you have your advertising firm.
Right.
And I love the character bills that were in there. There were still realistic characters
right.
that were in there that didn't have all of these fabulous things. So you still had somebody in there to relate to. But that was an amazing time of discovery.
It was.
Through
and I
literature. We're nerds.
We're very much nerds. I get so I'm sad that hopefully these new writers will come out or whatever. But I get sad that the art of reading
and writing
and journaling. I think part of me wanted to journal so much not because I thought I was going to be a writer, but just because I then was confident enough to explore my feelings and put it on paper. Now I'm Moesha. Dear time. No, but I miss that era in time. And like when people like Eric Jerome Dickey died, it really brought up like nostalgic feelings of like,
absolutely.
Dang, he used to be writing his ass off. Man, that's a sad loss.
That is a sad loss because he was still contributing to literature, and it is like who are the new authors? Who are the new authors that are?
My mom still very much avidly reads, but I also think my mama reads like ghetto.
What's the last book that you?
Ghetto Tales of Tragedy. She loves shit like that. I'm like, girl,
tell her she might love Kimberly Lawson.
She does.
Oh, so my Aunt Connie, that's her goddaughter.
We have an Amazon account together. I see all the books she puts on her Kindle.
So let me say this. When I go back to Dallas, because I know my mom, and she's probably watching, she'll probably be okay with me taking those books because we need to, figure out where some of those books. If she doesn't have whatever Kimberly Lawson book, I got them all in Dallas on that book.
Okay, I can answer. She reads them on her Kindle now, but I don't. Listen, my mama loves to read. I envy that my mom never stopped her love, even if it is trashy or whatever.
That's good.
The act
of
reading.
Escape. It was an escape.
It's an escape.
So, what's the last book that you bought?
Ooh, bought?
That you purchased, or if it's an Audible,
Okay, so. The last book that I purchased may not be the last book that I read because I purchase books all the time. I just don't read them.
Yeah.
The last book that I purchased and read, honestly, was Barack Obama's first book.
Okay.
And that was years ago. I have Michelle's new book. I haven't sat down and read it a lot, but the last book I read thoroughly, and I mean read that fast because that first book from Barack was super well written and very intriguing to his life before main politics and presidency. But that's the last book I read.
The last book I bought, and I'm still reading, was Mariah Carey's memoirs.
Who?
Mariah Carey.
Ooh.
I have it.
Is it good?
It's good. Mariah is really giving you and letting you in. And I think that if people read this book, they can definitely see why Mariah is why she is. But that was the last book. And Little Fires Everywhere, after I saw the series, I bought it. I haven't started reading it. And I actually left it in Dallas with one of my friends, Amini, because she didn't watch the series. And I just so happened to have the book in my backpack. And I was visiting her. And I just so happened, I was like, let me give you this book.
You know what? That's going to be a 2021 goal. I am going to start back reading.
We need a book club. Let's have a... How about we start an Epic Podcast book club?
Book of the month or something.
And we can do book of a month.
Because we can read a book in a month.
And we can have an episode dedicated or a
segment
dedicated to...
We'll start in February.
Okay. And it's Black History Month, so y'all know the book don't be black.
We're going to pick a black book. We'll come back. We'll put it on our Instagram and we're going to have a book.
Yeah.
We're going to read it together. And listen, if you want to do audibles, because I know for time and parents, it'd be easier for audibles, we could do that too. But we're going to, because I need to get back into reading.
Yeah, we definitely do. Definitely, if y'all want to do the Mariah Carey book, I already have it. And it's about a black one.
Well, she's happy.
But speaking of Barack Obama, the inauguration...
I like the inauguration.
It was tastefully done.
I know it's not
socially
something we
distanced.
should like or dislike because it's just formality. But I think it was very tasteful done for the situation that happened a week before. But we'll get into that. But I think it was very. It felt safe. I mean, I was just watching on TV, but it looked like they were doing what they need to do for safety, from the virus, from any intruders, from any interruptions, just to do their civic duty of inaugurating a new president and vice president.
Not the biggest thing from that was Bernie Sanders sitting in there.
Y'all wore Bernie.
But
you know what? I love Bernie Sanders. You know why? Because he knew that was out there. He took his likeness and he said, you know what? Instead of laughing, like getting mad that y'all laughing at me, let me make y'all spend y'all money. He put it on shirts. He sold it for $45 and then donated it back to, I forget what it was, but it was something.
He donated it to.
Dang, I'm about to remember.
Was it home? No, it was. Oh, I know.
It was something with politics.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was something with like food or something.
No, yeah, you're right. It was something about food shelter or something.
Yeah,
but
I think
he donated back into the community.
All the money. But that was cute. That was funny.
Y'all, one thing about Twitter and like the internet, baby, y'all are creative,
man.
And y'all are making laugh.
Baby, Cicely wasn't even cold. Cicely wasn't even cold, and the memes started coming out.
You know what? I think that's what I love about us as. Not, I wouldn't say it's all black people because I'm sure white people, but just as a culture of like this generation. Is that we know how to make each other smile.
Yeah, we got to.
We know, like, even when Kobe died, I remember this one meme. This was what popped me out of it. It said, whoever about to put Kobe Bryant and Martin Luther King bouncing the ball on the court can go to hell. Because you know we love to do that. And rest in peace and be Martin Luther King with Tupac.
With their arms up. Right. Waiting. And Tupac with that bandana. You ain't took the bandana off or the nose ring out.
Y'all can go to hell. That popped me. And I'm just like, you know what? As our culture, we definitely know how to make each other smile.
It was Meals on Wheels in Vermont.
Meals on Wheels. Yes, you're right.
So there was a meme with Cicely. So you remember the
Cicely who just died?
When Cicely just died, It was a meme that was saying that it was Tyler, they taking him out of the funeral, and it was the picture of Lil' Kim at Biggie's funeral.
I thought you was about to say it was the video of Ray J at Whitney's funeral.
They was like saying that was gonna be Tyler Perry at the funeral.
He's definitely not gonna hold up well.
Did you say somebody? What did you say earlier that you saw somebody say?
Oh, somebody said that Tyler had a policy out on Cicely.
Because that's his granny.
Because that's his granny.
Like we are crazy.
We're funny.
But I appreciate the internet because it does create a vehicle.
People that got real good in these memes man. Like y'all have it is top tier content.
I'm talking about y'all don't got nothing else to do but sit here.
But create memes and sayings and things to make me smile. And I'm absolutely here for it because some days that is my escape to just pop out and just have a good, healthy belly laugh about something that is not that funny. Like as far as seriousness. So I really did appreciate it, but I enjoyed the inauguration. I thought it was really well. I thought Stephanie and AKA that was Stephanie with the F, not a PH.
Baby, she came out.
She was very proud. You could tell
regal.
She was. I feel like she was very proud to be there. You could really,
I think she was.
She was very honored and proud to be there. And first of all, Lady Gaga, I don't care what y'all say, baby blows down.
Yeah.
One thing you can't take away Lady Gaga, she might be weird, but baby blows down.
She is definitely art school performer for life.
She definitely...
She shows up for the occasion. For every occasion, Gaga's gonna show up for it.
In a costume.
In baby, did you see Biden look down at her train when she walked past?
No.
She had walked past. He looked down like, what in the tarnation?
He's like, is that Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga. But she was in there.
Baby, before Amanda Gorman, her poetry was. I love poetry is very subjective. Like sometimes I'm like, all right. But it was very well written. It was for the time. I love that she was young. I love that she was a chocolate.
Oh my goodness! And the sun came out of the clouds.
I mean, her skin was going like she looked like a chocolate Snickers bar.
Did you see that son just say, "It's your turn"?
It literally glistened on her. I'm so glad that I'm sure Joe Biden didn't pick her, but I'm so glad that whoever coordinated was intentional to find diversity in this inauguration, and not just in like Black and Puerto Rican or whatever, but in age.
Everything.
Because she represents the new youth.
Yes.
She's only, what, 21?
22, I believe.
Like, that's who is going to create our futures.
Yes.
Like, 30, we're not doing it. They're doing it.
They're doing it.
So it was great to see that age that we always just say our kids or whatever, they just TikToking, be represented in such a eloquent and intelligent way. I was so proud. I felt like that was my little sister. Like, I was so proud to watch. I actually made my boys, who rarely stay still, I made them stay still. And even though if they didn't know what was going on, I just wanted them to see, like, on a grand stage, a Black, beautiful, young, intelligent person saying things that made sense, that everybody resonated.
That resonated with everyone.
Everyone, that the new president of the United States had to look up to her and listen, and was like, they were engaged. They were like, this young lady, like, I saw Kamala like I could see her being impressed in her eyes. She was like, yes, sir. Yeah, like that. Oh God,
she wanted to pull it out.
The Black girl magic was
it was sparkling.
When her and Michelle bumped fists, I was like,
that was so good. She was like, ooh, that was so cute. And then she was like, you go, like, it's just, leave us alone.
It's just let us be. You can do this. You got this. We're
this.
So proud of you, and we got your back.
Barack and her.
Oh God, it was.
I can't wait until we have our merch for that.
It was so rich.
That was so amazing.
That kind of, and not just because they're Black. I mean, granted, that's my number one reason. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
yes, it is because they're Black.
You're right. I didn't tell me.
And the reason why is because it's 2020 and we're still having a first time.
Yeah.
And our Black asses have been here.
And representation, absolutely.
We've been here since the 15th century.
Yeah.
And it's the 21st century. Yeah. And it's the first time.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And only the second time.
And in my lifetime, I'm able to see this.
Yeah.
That this is the only second time in a lifetime of lifetimes that this has ever happened. So it is heartwarming because it's like we make up. It's like 40 million of us now.
And listen, I know that we like to say, like, we don't need your table. We'll create our own table. And absolutely, you should be creating your own tables. But I'm going to tell you what, some of these tables we did create. And we need to be able to pull out our chair and sit there.
Sit at the tables
because
that
we did create these tables.
We helped create
them.
I
always remind people, like, don't always think that you have to create new tables when you've already built several tables.
Yes.
You don't have to now.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
With blood, sweat, and tears. And because your table was taken from you, you feel like you now have to create more and more tables. Yep. And you don't have to do that. You've created certain tables. Right. And you have the right to want a seat there. And not only a seat, the seat.
Right. So don't play with me. And yeah, we can do it. So that was amazing.
It was amazing to see. I don't know who as Shay. Okay, here's the thing.
What the hell?
I feel like she was a diversity hire.
But I'm just saying, of all of in the Rolodex.
Was Shakira not available?
She's an immigrant. I don't
Oh, she's not American.
Yeah. So, but even if you wanted to, I don't know, Latino explosion, it's Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, like
I guess Demi Lovato. Is that? She might be Demi.
No, I think she's
Spanish.
I don't know. Christina Aguilera.
Oh no,
we would have still been there. But all I know is I bust out.
It was the Let's Get Loud in the middle of nowhere for me.
I was like, wait a minute, is that?
I don't know if she said it to plug herself, because at first when she was speaking in Spanish, I said that absolutely makes sense because to be honest, Spanish is the second language in this country.
It is the second language.
So I love that she did that actually. Right, Selena. But I love that she did that because it did kind of represent.
Yes.
Hispanics are here.
Yes, they're here.
Even though I need to go get her. Hispanics are here, even though the Cubans voted
for Trump.
Did you see that video that was like, Cubans, vote for Donald Trump. Get in the fuck back in the water and swim your ass.
Get that back over there. Fidel, come get your folks.
Come get your folks. So anyway, I did like that she did infuse that, but I don't know who told her. I don't know if she forgot the words and she just was like, fuck it, I'm just going to say what comes
next.
No,
she absolutely practiced that. And it was cute that you had a medley. I don't think that
That's not the time to have no damn
That's
medley.
what I was going to say. I don't think that no one has ever had.
I wrote the song like I wrote the song. Sing the song like I wrote the goddamn word. You don't know the goddamn word?
I don't think that was the time to introduce a medley. And
especially not Let's Get Loud. Out of all your songs.
Let's Get Loud.
Baby, I thought
this. Look, I had did like this. I said,
I said, is dancers about to come out?
That
with flags
and pick her up. And look, with both her arms, you know she love that when they take her down the stairs. And then they had the flag, some Puerto Rican flag.
I literally thought, I said, oh, they tripping.
Let's get loud.
I literally thought she was about to go into a concert.
I was like, what the fuck? I think that was a first.
And probably a last.
That's like Beyonce. That's like Beyonce when she was singing America the Beautiful. And then when she was just in the middle while she's up there, and it was like, oh, beautiful. She was like, America, I can see your hair long. Hey, no.
It's not appropriate to change the lyrics.
And then you all over here this time, let's get loud. No, Barada.
That was...
Baby, where's the insurrection when you need it?
That was...
Could you imagine that just 2 weeks or a week, was it a week and a half before? 2 weeks, I guess.
You know what? I was so indifferent about when that happened, watching on TV. First of all, I didn't believe it at first because I don't watch the news like that. I think I've said that several times. I've been more in tune now, but I don't really watch the news. I get a lot of it from social media and or my husband because he watches the news. And I remember John, I was doing something in the kitchen and John was like, I think they at the Capitol. And I was like, duh. Like, I just thought it was annoying because
you can go to the Capitol up until a certain...
Because it was election time, blah, 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 blah. He was like, babe, they stormed. They actually protest. He's like, first he was like, they protesting at the Capitol. And I was like, I'm not surprised they want Donald Trump.
Okay,
he was like, no. They're like raging against the machine at this point. Like, it was so funny because I think sitting in the seat of where we are with the protests and things that we've done all last year, just to be not even above, but equal.
And say, stop killing us.
At the minimum.
Right.
It was funny because seeing it on the other side for something where we feel is like ridiculously silly.
The most silliest fucking...
It was
this is what y'all did!
I said, this sounds like none of my fucking business.
Baby, when I tell you that Black America accept those blacks for Trumps that were sitting there. Like, get y'all done. When I tell you that we all collectively said, and we all said, baby, they don't know what's coming for them. They about to send in the National Guard. And they about to shoot and bullet and
I don't know.
gas.
I haven't caught up or paid attention to. I know that several people did get arrested, which they thought they were going to go home about their daily fucking lives.
Not enough.
And I feel like instead of the FBI asking us to fucking help, y'all could have arrested them on site.
Y'all could have showed up.
Y'all let
like
them
you did all last year.
Signed up like the fucking Avengers.
Like you had the National Guard lined all across every step on the Capitol building.
Like y'all was fighting King Kong.
Like King Kong and Godzilla was coming down Black Lives Matter Plaza towards the Capitol.
So I think that was the part where I shifted from like, ooh, this ain't none of my business to being in utter disgust of like,
they letting them do, y'all are doing this?
We're still not there. We're still letting, it's still, But I think that was a turning point for a lot of people, not of color, because we know already. But it was a turning point again, just like the George Floyd thing.
People who happen to be white.
Nothing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. Just like when George Floyd
Debacle.
died.
Debacle. I've been watching the Wendy Williams movie.
Just like when George Floyd died and it was recorded, and we were forced to watch him
at home,
not breathe for over 8 minutes. It was the same. I think white America who looks at it like, oh, well, that's not me, was like, that's my realtor. Oh, that's my baby's teacher. Oh, these are people that you know. These are people that you go to church with. These are people that you work with. These are people that are your neighbors. Hey, Jeff. Yeah. Jeff ass was down there.
Jeff flew his ass to motherfucking
Jeff flew his ass down there, checked in to go act the fool. I think it made a lot of people, like, the white people that I know, they were like, you know what? This is actually not a shift of saying, like, I'm not those people. It's actually a shift to saying, I know these people and I could be these people. And
some of these people are my friends.
And some of these people are my friends. And I need to start making decisions on if I'm on this side or if I'm on that side. Because the writing's on the wall. And
the writing is on the wall.
And it's become very clear.
And they're like, just because you support Trump, you're not a racist. The fact that you know that he is
a racist.
Okay, not only is a racist, but is okay with accepting open support from racists, yes, you are.
Yeah.
That should be enough. That should be enough. Racism, especially when you know how terrible the history of racism has been in this country. That should be enough to say, no, I can't support you.
And even
but it doesn't affect them.
And and even if you can't resonate with racism being a problem, the sheer fact that the way that he transitioned power was so crass,
it was
and classless,
terrible. Like him. It was on brand.
Classless.
That was the worst.
And then you fools have the nerve, the unmitigated gall to get on Beyonce's internet. Number one, and record your stupid asses doing it.
I got maced.
Well, she had an onion in her hand.
It's a revolution. We're storming the Capitol.
This is spring break 2020. The fuck, Elizabeth. But you had the audacity to get on Beyonce's internet and ask for pardon.
And ask for a pardon.
No!
After you said all of that and then said that you don't regret it or feel bad, but I do think I get a pardon because Donald Trump told me to do it.
They said we were just doing what we thought he told us to do.
Well, can he tell y'all to jump off a cliff?
And you're telling me he didn't lead an insurrection?
Exactly.
He told them, they said that's what they heard.
That's what they heard, and that's exactly what happened. And they were saying it all down there.
And
they were saying it on
the crazy selves doing all this, and guess where he at?
Mar-a-Lago. With y'all money.
With y'all donation money.
With your money. Because he done lost every single court case except for like 2 that were like insignificant.
We paid for that.
But no, we didn't pay for that. His donors paid for that.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Because that come out of campaign funds. That ain't our tax money.
Y'all have funded this.
Y'all funded this. And he kept the money. And then his lawyer, like, come on. That's why he had his own personal private lawyers, Rudy, like these people that he said, okay, I'm only giving you $50,000. Like, come on.
And now y'all ask for pardon, begging and pleading for pardon.
Baby, all I know
y'all wasn't pardoned when the meth was methenium.
Y'all let
y'all was running through that Capitol.
Get in the Senate seat. They were sitting in the Senate majority seat.
In the seat? And Nancy Pelosi, y'all got this like,
y'all was in her office. You took her laptop.
Open it up, man.
Nail. That's already a federal crime.
Baby, you're going to jail.
Prison.
The FBI had knocked on your door like, baby, we found you.
And picked you up.
You know why? Because you recorded yourself doing it.
And literally, you had the audacity. And then when they saw
I'm glad that police officer got promoted to...
that was amazing.
That was amazing.
And then he led their hillbilly asses up them stairs. And that's what they all looked like that was running up the stairs after him. Now, I'm not saying that white people are hillbillies, but those white people...
No, those white people definitely don't have 300 teeth between all 1,000 of them.
Then you had that one lady. You a veteran in the Air Force or the Navy. I think she was the Navy.
The one who died?
Yeah. Why? What do you think a gun
You
pointed?
know better.
Y'all saw that man, it's the Secret Service, with his gun cocked out at you. And you still thought you was going to go through the windows? Because they thought that their privilege was going to do what doesn't really ultimately happen. Mm-hmm. They don't get the same treatment. And it was just
It was only, 5 deaths? And
5.
And
then 3 of them were like, I want to say, officers.
So imagine that on the scale of, I think if, I don't know the exact number, so I could be I'm not going to know. But I would just imagine the protests that had happened within the last year for the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm sure there's at least hundreds of deaths.
Exactly.
Hundreds of deaths.
And then y'all was snatching people off the street and tossing them in the back of unmarked vans. We didn't know if y'all was the police or the FBI. We didn't know who y'all were. Y'all was snatching women. Y'all were snatching people. Like, y'all was literally in uniform, not uniform.
They definitely didn't go into the real DC because the real DC residents would have wore y'all.
Well, no, I'm talking about they was snatching people in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, right.
Y'all was doing all of that for those people walking down the street protesting. Y'all was snatching people off the streets.
Which is their American given right? Freedom of speech?
And y'all was doing that, and these people stormed the Capitol.
I'm not even upset that they protested. Like, that is
you can
their
protest.
American given right.
Outside, like everybody else.
Everybody else. You can't go in the Capitol.
Ooh, people want to be in the history books so
well, now you is.
Now you in the wrong side of history.
Now you're on the wrong side of history. You will never get your life back. Baby, you know what was funny? What was wearing me out? And I was cackling. Baby, the hashtag for them being on that no-fly list.
Ooh,
oh, y'all thought y'all was going home? Delta said, not me.
Baby, y'all don't know. Y'all don't think the FBI got facial recognition? Y'all faces are in the DMVs. Like, that'd be so funny. They really thought they was going to fly.
The same system that you fighting for.
They was rolling up with their roll-ons. Like, yep, we just stormed the Capitol. Let me go on back home.
Let me go on back and sell you a house.
But you are going to prison.
You're going to prison, Jeff.
And they had Congress running through the tunnels to undisclosed secure locations.
And these people couldn't do their job. The tax dollars that we pay senators and stuff. That
y'all was putting pipe bombs around.
Do you know the manpower that probably had to go into once they finally got everything calmed down to search that building to ensure that no one put anything in there to blow it up? I'm sure we spent $1 million.
$1 million
at the minimum.
At the minimum. And then we find out that 3 officers, it wasn't 3 officers that died. 3 officers, I think 1 officer died, and the other ones were people who died that were participants. 3 officers were charged in.
Well, they said a lot of officers were.
Yep. Like they had blueprints to the tunnels. They were on walkie-talkies.
Y'all was so Blue Lives Matter fighting the police,
beating him to death. You beat this man.
Wait, y'all beating the police with the Blue Lives Matter
with the flag.
Make it make sense.
Like,
make it make sense.
The funny thing is that we were on. I was seeing them on CNN, and they were talking about it. And it was the people who happened to be white, and they were on there, and it was like, and it was asking the counterparts, who are Trump supporters. I was like, don't y'all see a difference in these protests and the previous protests? He was like, where
the senators was wearing them out.
Where are the bullets?
Because now my life is in danger, now I care.
Right. Did you see AOC was tweeting about that GameStop situation?
Yeah.
And she was tweeting the GameStop, Robinhood that stopped people from trading and cashing in. And
you can't make too much money here in America.
Oh, they don't want the poor to not be poor.
Right.
AOC did that at the time. I think we need to have a hearing. Maybe I'm up for a hearing to see why did you do that, but the hedge fund things could still freely trade. Ted dumbass motherfucking Cruz gonna say, I agree. Baby, AOC responded and said, I am all for working with Republicans and the GOP on this subject, but not from people who just almost got me murdered 3 weeks ago.
Not you, Ted.
Anybody else
Why
but
would you even at the inauguration? Who invited you?
Right, don't even come here. She said, you had me, you tried to have me murdered 3 weeks ago.
So no thank you.
So anybody else but you. She replied to him.
We don't like you, Ted Cruz.
Then
no
here's
one
another
likes
congressman talking about she should apologize for doing that.
No,
he really was a part of that.
No,
baby, I love me some AOC. Those are the people that we need. Somebody literally from the Bronx who knows what's going on, who can see a future, who is younger, who is like, come on.
It's time for us to get rid of these old.
And she's making a huge splash.
She is. It's. We've been saying it's time for these old.
It is. It is. We need term limits.
I'm excited that we have a new presidency, but I'll be honest. Listen, Joe, we on your hot ass.
But did you see how much hair Joe had last year versus this year? I just saw a picture, and I was just like, Joe, shave your edges off. Just go on and be.
But that president, because you remember Barack is now coming back to life. But you remember we wore Barack.
Baby, Barack became Santa Claus.
Yeah, we wore Barack then. He's coming back to life now.
He coming back.
We wore Barack then. That presidency ain't no joke.
You remember Droopy Dog, the cartoon?
Yes.
And his eyes,
yes.
Baby Barack eyes.
And remember, like when Biden is coming in under this kind of rocky. Because, baby, he went in, he said, let me undo these dumbass executives.
Like, let's
undo this. Take this shit out of
this. Do this.
Just imagine your first week in the office. You're undoing. And he's not done. But you spend.
Then you can't find nothing.
Then you can't find nothing. You're undoing what has been stupidly done for 4 years. You know how long it's going to take him to undo that? He would, Lord God willing, he lasts this long. He would need 2 terms to get us back to any positive time, honestly.
Yes, you would need, he would.
There's no way that this presidency is going to correct.
It's not.
4 years, even just 4 short years.
And on top of a pandemic.
On top of a panini press. It's not.
Panorama.
It's not going to happen. I hope people understand that when 4 years are up and Donald Trump tries.
So we got to see what you say. We're gonna be on his hot ass.
No, we don't buy.
We got to stay. We got to
Kamala's too.
Yeah, we have to stay. We
got to
make
I'm moreover. I've been really into local government lately, and I'm more over on their hot ass because the school systems and things like that. These children are having to go back to school. These teachers are having to go back to school in these environments, and they're not on a priority list for the vaccine. If they want the vaccine, if they're going to be in the public, if you're making them go back to public environment where they're engaged into not only just the children but their parents. I don't know if your mama was at the strip club last night. Breathing in the Roni.
Right. We don't know
Double
what
cheeked up on a Tuesday, honey.
He definitely signed over 40 executive orders.
And he ain't done.
So, speaking of the coronavirus, the vaccine, do you think that you would get it if it became available for you?
You know what? Year? I'm not. At first, I was like, absolutely not. I have never, not that I recall. I think I may have gotten it as a child once, but I have not, as an adult, electively taken the flu vaccine.
Okay.
And I have not administered the flu vaccine to my children.
Okay.
I feel.
Well, they were sketchy these past.
Well, for me, I feel like historically, y'all be tripping when it comes to black people vaccines, but also I just feel like there's certain vaccines that are mandatory. If it's an electable vaccine, I'm always going to do my research why it's electable or not. Because there's some vaccines that they would be like, no, you got to get the hepatitis. You got to get. But if it's something electable, then that does open my mind up to research why it is electable, and maybe I do and don't. I don't diss anybody if they want to get the flu virus. I just don't. So I feel like with the coronavirus, I'm never going to say never. Maybe one day I do get the flu virus, but I feel like
I get it this year. I'm definitely not getting it this year.
But because it's gonna be the Corona, they're gonna mix it. It's a cocktail.
Yeah,
I feel like
I don't think it's enough.
I feel like I do trust science, and I do.
I
feel
trust
like,
science,
and I do feel like intentionally people are doing the best that they can.
Yeah,
I don't have a reason to get it now.
I don't think so either.
They would have to put a reason that affects my life directly for me to think about getting it or put it in my children's life.
Yeah.
Travel may interest me because I do want my children and I to travel, so I might think about it. But right now, there's nothing in place. Minus like the erratic or the making the pandemic lesser. But it's never going to be gone. So it's like I don't have a specific reason for me and my family to take it now. But I'm not saying that I won't. I know a lot of people who have, and I understand and I respect and I get that those people are mostly are in the healthcare profession.
I appreciate it. And I know. I definitely see it. I can't do it for me.
For me right now, I would say
at least not right now.
No, but I'm not going to say never.
My mom said they got to get all the kinks out. Baby, you got to get the kinks out.
Yeah, let me see what y'all doing.
And then the internet's full of bullshit. So then you don't know if
what is what?
What is what anymore because people put on all these productions, which I just really hate that.
It puts fear out there.
It does. So now it's like, but it is mighty funny that Hank Aaron died right after the.
But also just historically, like as a person of color, as a black person, like y'all have done us dirty. Y'all have used us as test monkeys.
Yes.
And so, not to say like they were like all the blacks line up, but y'all have used Americans and black Americans specifically. So yes, we do. It's not that we have a fear. We do have a valid, legitimate reason why we don't run to vaccines all the time because there's more at stake for us. You guys do not still value us as equal Americans, so you will test on some dumb shit on us first, and y'all know it. So,
especially when y'all first came out, it was like the blacks should get it first. See Melanie Gates or whatever her name was. When you said the blacks, that's already what turned it right. I was like, oh hell no! As soon as she said the blacks. We was like, oh hell no, we not getting that.
Yeah, like,
because first of all, don't.
Well, that's what happens when you let people who aren't specifically in a position to speak to medical things, talk like. She's a very educated woman, I'm very sure, but that probably should have been the person that was talking about the virus.
And you guys aren't even doctors, so that was also a red flag.
Not medical doctors.
Not medical doctors at all. So it's a red flag.
Did Microsoft make it? Like what the?
Did Microsoft make it? And that is the question. So there was on one of my friends on Facebook. She shared a video that I watched, and there was a black woman from a hospital. Where they are administering the vaccine, and she actually touched on the Tuskegee experiment, and she said there is a valid concern. She said it did happen, and I can understand that with you, but she was like, but what else is a reality is that black people are dying at a 2.1 higher rate. Where black people are being admitted to the hospital at a 4 times higher rate. We're catching the virus at a 2 times higher rate. So she said that's also reality.
So you have to really sit in. But you know what?
Research.
What I've been telling a couple of friends of mine is that I don't want people to use the vaccine or the availability now. Because you remember COVID tests were very selective now.
Yeah,
now I just drove through a MARTA station and got my COVID test. I mean, I did. In my car.
You want chicken nuggets and a COVID test?
In my car with a coworker. We went through and we got our nose stuck. And I got my test results. I'm negative, by the way. I got my test results within 24 hours of my text. It has become that regular and that daily. So vaccines and the availability will as well. But I feel like I don't want people to utilize the vaccine like I feel like now we're utilizing the test.
Yes.
Like I feel like
because there's a lot of people who need it who should get it first.
Right. And I feel like right now we're like, I want to throw a lavish party. So let me just either get these rapid tests the rapid tests are expensive. Yeah. Let me get these rapid tests because I can afford it. And now you see these celebrities, and no shade, no tea.
We all have COVID tests. Yeah, they're
like a luxury. I know I just had this launch party for the bra that I created, but P.S. everybody got corona tested. But so what? Because
why'd you spend that much money to do that.
And number two, corona test is synonymous to know that you could be asymptomatic one day and then the next day you can catch it. So it's very, I feel like in that way.
Or the test didn't pick up
or
that
it's a
you
false
does
positive.
have.
I mean,
or it's
a false negative.
or you just wasn't in the stage
where
of
it's traceable.
inoculation.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like we've become a little bit irresponsible with using the corona test as a reason to gather again.
To do things.
And I don't want it to be like, well, I got the vaccine, so.
Right.
I've seen people say like,
you can still get
well, I'm negative, so, or I've had it already, so I'm good for 3 months.
You can still get the flu. Even if you got the flu vaccine.
Like, hey guys, you know you can still spread it even if it doesn't.
But like, just the vaccine is to help you not get it.
Right.
It don't mean you won't get it,
and it don't mean you won't spread it.
And it doesn't mean you won't spread
Just like I've known people who got the flu vaccine and got the flu.
So
the flu is contagious. So I just don't want it. I get scared about people using that as the answer to.
Not my mama said they get them at the gas station.
Mama, they're getting this
next to the pregnancy test.
Honestly, I got it at the gas station.
Yeah.
Like the MARTA section is basically
pregnancy test, drug test.
Honestly, the MARTA station, the bus station is not any like the.
It is the gas station.
It is the gas station. But I mean, I appreciate the
availability
because I tell you what. My grandmother's 93, and so I've been taking them more frequently.
Yeah.
Because I want to be sure that I'm at least consciously being responsible to be around her and my kids to be around her, not willingly giving her the virus that I know she may not end up well with. So I appreciate. I think we're at a point now that I feel like, and I'm not perfect. I go to restaurants and whoop-de-whoop, but I feel like we are using the corona test because it's so available now as a reason to be in the clubs.
To be in the clubs.
Because Houston and Atlanta.
Oh, they done. Baby, they withdrew from the coronavirus a long time ago.
Houston and Atlanta said, we're done here.
We're done. Oh, we're not doing that. Oh, no, we're not doing that.
Oh, we're not doing that.
We good.
It's actually frightening.
It's crazy.
To see the pictures of the promoters. And I get it. You need to work. You need to make money. I totally get it. But I just be like, okay, they've opened the club, so hey, people are going to go, but you're not even going to try to wear a mask.
And then you be like, you got to have your mask on to enter. Well, what's I mean here?
No, I've been to a lounge where I left immediately. Damn, I'm spinning. Where I left immediately because I was like, I can't do this.
You get the
nobody had a mask
social anxiety.
I had social anxiety.
You got 2 kids and your grandmother.
I was just like, oh, I'm not. I said, go. Oh no,
we gotta go.
I'll drink at home.
Exactly, because it is.
If I want a hookah, I know my friends with hookah. It's fine.
People are done. People are like, no, I'm not doing that.
It's crazy. And I mean, I get it. Listen, I have come to a reason where I'm like, okay, we got to learn how to function in it. But I'm not purposely, I feel like, going out of my way to be in a club or anything like that.
I might wait for that Johnson Johnson. I think it's the Johnson Johnson
that's
the one that's saying it. It's the one. Because the one that's out right now is the 2.
The Pfizer.
Yeah, the Pfizer is the 1 dose, and you got to come back for the second dose.
So Johnson we
Johnson, I think is
single dose
working one that's a single dose. So
it's a 24-hour plan.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait and see how this rolls.
I'm just gonna wait until I have a really urgent reason to take it. Then I'm just gonna wait because y'all ain't finna just be sticking in.
Well, I am so, again, glad to be back. I have absolutely missed you.
I know.
Next week, y'all.
Well, I mean, not that we don't talk, but yeah it's different vibe when we get to see each other once a week.
Next week, we have to talk about T.I. and Tiny. Because that's gonna trigger a couple of topics.
Yeah, T.I. and Tiny. We were gonna get into it tonight, but we had so much to catch up on. I think that needs to be a full episode.
Because that's a lot to talk about.
That's a lot to unpack. And here in Atlanta, that specific topic is T.I. and Tiny aren't the only ones who are in that conversation. But yeah, that's a
make
lot.
sure y'all gonna be here and tune in. For that, because that is we definitely have to talk about a couple of things.
we're back. I'm not gonna promise y'all what day consistently
still
we're gonna do this, but Saturdays is probably gonna be the
but
y'all don't care. Remember, we are on all major platforms. I believe now we're on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify.
Tidal. Do they have podcasts on Tidal?
I think they do, but I don't know. I have to research to see how that works. Maybe one of our podcast friends can tell us if they're on Tidal and how they got on Tidal.
Okay.
But most major platforms were on.
Absolutely tune in. Follow us on IG at F.IT Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, also at the same name, F.IT Podcast. And
if you have any thing that you want to touch on, with especially next week with the T.I. and Tiny thing, I'd be interested. You can email us F.IT podcast experience at Gmail. And I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on T.I. and Tiny and sexual and human trafficking and the difference between when is it kind of like voluntary and involuntary as far as being involved in certain sexual things. I want to hear other, because I have a perspective.
Right, I didn't have a perspective.
I have a few different perspectives, but I would like to hear other people's thoughts on that. But I'm so glad we're back. This is like my journal that I get to talk every week. So we will definitely, unless something else happens, 2021 better sit his ass
baby
down. We're not playing with 2021.
We're not doing all that. I'm not doing that this year.
We're not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
And I won't be drinking for the next few episodes. So
exactly.
If I'm boring, it's because I'm
and because of that, I haven't been drinking either. We just can't do it. I'm nervous. That was like PTSD. We love you guys.
Thanks for tuning in. This will be uploaded within the time. I don't know. Bye.